Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports News here live this morning at 10 a.m. with my man Zen Master Zaya. How you feeling this morning, Zaya?
Well, I'm feeling all right, man. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to hop into it.
Yeah, for sure, man. There's been a lot going on in college football. The transfer portal is nuts.
Yeah.
Guys are actually finding them some teams that they can go to. I really hope that none of these players jump in the portal and find themselves out there with no home to go to, man. Like last year, you had 50% of those guys didn't find a team. So hopefully, this year it'll be a little bit different and they can find them a home. Let's talk a little bit about some of the games that's going to take place today. Um, we got South Alabama playing in the bowl game with Western Michigan, the Salute to Veterans Bowl, and that game comes on today. And South Alabama is favored by 8 in this game, and Western Michigan, you know, got the 8 points. And the over and under is 57 and a half. We like to salute all of our veterans. We thank you for your service. Continue to keep our country safe. What's your thoughts on this game? Do you know anything about South Alabama? I've seen a little bit of Western Michigan, but I haven't seen a lot of South Alabama. What's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I ain't seen nothing from neither one for real. But I'm gonna watch this game though. I'm gonna watch this game. I
Right,
just
right.
I don't know nothing about nothing on this one.
They're both 6-6.
Oh man.
That might tell you a lot. But I think also Michigan played a lot of they played quite a few power four teams too though.
I was about to say they probably scheduled. They probably got 4 million too. Talk
Yeah,
about the other day.
right. Yeah, I mean if South Alabama is favored, I guess they're gonna win the game. I mean that's all I can go on this game because I haven't seen much of either one of those teams. But I have seen more Western Michigan than I have South Alabama.
Who
I
Western
guess when you
Michigan? Who they play?
say it again,
Who you see Western Michigan play?
they played at the beginning of the year, they played a Power Four school. Somebody beat up them. Might have been Michigan.
Might have
Might have
been.
played them.
Yeah, they might
Yeah,
have played Big Bro.
yeah. It might have been Michigan that beat up on 'em. Yeah. What's your thoughts on? I should have put that on the screen. On Navy at Alabama. I mean, Alabama Army. Navy at Army. Army is favored by 6.5, and the over and under is only 38 and a half.
See, I already know what you gonna say. You think Army about to kill them? I think it's gonna be a good game, bruh. It's just I mean they run the same stuff, kind of, sort of, So their defense is both gonna be prepared. I feel like for this game. So I think Army gonna win though, but I think it's gonna be a good game for sure.
Man, you're right. I think Army is going to beat them snot out of them, man. I think it's going to be like 28 to maybe 10, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that 38 lets you know that it ain't going to be a whole lot of points scored. Um, but I hope that it's a close game, man. I really do. Um,
Thanks.
Shout out to some of my family members who are Army members. My brother Greg, my brother Rob, both retired from the Army, and my cousin Chad also retired from the
Shout
Army.
out to them.
And Chad gets on the stream sometime with us in the chat. And then I got a couple of homies that are Navy. Mr. Pettigrew is a
Yeah.
Navy man who worked with
Yep.
us at Windsor, and my man Marcus, Muhammad from the mosque. He's a Navy man. My man Stephen Muhammad from the mosque. He's a Navy man. It's a lot of Navy men out there that I know. And I got to give a shout out to my man Scotty Broadus. Grew up in the terrace with me. He is also an Army man.
Shout out to all of them, man.
For sure, for sure. Let me ask you this question, man. Could there be a surprise in the Heisman award ceremony today. I think Travis Hunter is a lock. I think we all believe Travis Hunter is a lock. Could there be a surprise?
It's me. I mean, if I man, listen, people hate Prime, dog. So anything can happen, but it shouldn't be. I don't expect it to be. I think that's Travis's award. Period. Maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah, for some reason, man, I think that there might be a surprise, man. But we have to wait and see, man. We have to wait and see. Hopefully, there's no surprise and Travis Hunter walks away with that.
What you think the surprise might be?
Dylan Gabriel, like Poe saying, I think Dylan Gabriel, man, might mess around and steal that sucker, man. Being undefeated, leading this team to some pretty good wins. He could definitely probably win this Heisman Trophy, man.
And they ain't giving no awards, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think he won any of those quarterback awards or even Player of the Year awards. I don't think he got any of them. And normally they would try to scatter those things around to all those top players and give them all a little something. But I don't know if he got anything yet.
Facts.
So it could possibly happen, man. Could possibly happen. What's your biggest takeaway from this college football season?
We got to see that we just didn't see nothing at all. We it all. Last year, people kind of figured, like, oh, okay, Michigan, they look like the best team in the country, especially when they had that game where they ran the ball 20-something times in a row, and that's dominance, So just the dominant aspect, but also all these new coaching hires. It's just like college football is just turning out to be like a log jam for real. Everywhere you look, I think it's better. It's good for the sport though, too. Though it's just like we think coaching plays a big role in a lot. So for all these coaches that we have respect for, they're shuffling in, and the coaches that we already got. And then this $20 million roster, we think Ohio State coming in the year is going to be the team, and it's not. It's just a lot of chaos for real. So this has definitely been a fun season, though.
It's definitely been a fun season, man. And one of my greatest takeaways from it is that teams that I didn't expect to lose some games, lost games, which means there's going to be some more. There's going to be better parity, and I don't know if that's due to the portal, NIL. It could be a combination of both. But to be able to see teams like beat teams that they should not have beaten, like Vanderbilt beating Alabama.
Right.
We never saw that coming. They hadn't won a game against a team like that in probably their 84-year history or however long they've been around. So that kind of like was one of the biggest surprises for me. And also, man, and I don't know why I keep harping on this, the refereeing has been horrendous for years, man. When are they going to fix this freaking refereeing? It is, I don't know, man. I'm almost willing to agree with T1 on the fact that, those referees are being told, hey, listen, this is what the outcome got to be, and you got to make it happen. I hope that's not the case, but it really do seem that way. Yeah.
Yeah, the refereeing is atrocious.
Let me fix this real quick. Oh, man. Poe, he said one of his biggest takeaways was Michigan beat State. Listen, that was a big takeaway, bro, because nobody, maybe other than Michigan fans, felt like they had a chance in this game.
I ain't even want to mention that one. I ain't gonna lie.
It was right up there with the Vanderbilt over Alabama and Oklahoma over Alabama, I guess. He also said your head coaches is stepping down to be a coordinator. What's your thoughts on that?
Chip Kelly, I mean, I understood his reasoning behind it. He said he just wanted to teach ball. Like, when you the head coach, you got so much on your plate, dog. Like, you gotta oversee recruiting, you gotta make sure your staff is on point, and you gotta worry about too many people. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I get him. I get what he did. Who else stepped down to do that though? Was he the only? I think he was the only
No,
one.
no, it's quite a few dudes. They probably not big names like Chip Kelly, but man, a lot of coaches out there they don't want that headache, man.
Yeah.
And even I was watching the show earlier today, and the guy was saying he talked to two prominent head coaches coaching two prominent programs, and they said that if they don't get a handle on this NIL and stuff, that they are going to stop coaching and just go into being commentators. They said it's too much to deal with, man. Having
Yeah.
to fundraise, what I'm saying, to get players money and all that, and coach, and you got to win games and all that kind of stuff. They saying that this is becoming too difficult. Um, but that's a question I got later on in the show. But let's tackle this next question. Conference presidents are going to eventually meet to play in the 14 and 16 team playoff. What should those talks be about?
Um. Well, they need to look at the FCS off rip and see what the outcome of that look like year in and year out. They also need to look at the NFL model and see is that going to be the best way to move forward, which I think it is because it's outrageous that Oregon got the path that they got, and some of the teams got just some of the teams period got the path that they got right now. Yeah, you got to sit down though. You got to look at all avenues. So no stone should be left unturned when they have these conversations when they look at this because the module this year it's not it. It just ain't it.
Do you think that they will, like say for instance, the Big Ten and the SEC? Do you think they will say, listen, if we go to 14 teams, we need we need 10 of those slots. We get five, the Big Ten get five. Because in reality, those two conferences really run college football. Do you think that they will do something like that in those meetings where they say, listen, we run this thing, we ain't trying to be arrogant, but we need 10 of those slots because I think they really want to get away from these conference playoff games or even make those conference playoff games um, a way for those teams to get in. Like their top two teams wouldn't play in the conference championship game, but two other teams will play to get a right to play in the bowl games because they don't want, like in the instance for Georgia, their quarterback getting hurt. If he don't come back, what's Georgia's chances of winning? What if Penn State's quarterback got hurt in that championship game? What are their chances of winning? What if Oregon's Dylan Gabriel got hurt? What are their chances of winning the 12-team playoffs in a situation like that?
Right.
Do you think that they would do that? Those presidents would say, "Listen, Big Ten, SEC, we got to get 10 slots." Do you think they would do something like that?
I mean, it's possible, but if you sit everybody down at the table, I think the other conferences got a good argument too. Because think about this: we had we had a Big 12 team, a former Big 12 team in the SEC championship. We had a former Pac-12 team in the Big 12 championship. We had bro, in every championship, I'm thinking like, look,
Yeah.
Arizona State was from the Pac-12, Texas was from the Big 12, Oregon was from the Pac-12, and I'm missing one. Who the one I'm
SMU
missing?
came from maybe Conference USA, maybe.
See what I'm saying? So it's four teams out of the 8 teams that was in the main conference championships that came from the smaller conferences. So they gonna be like, I mean, y'all just stole our teams. Why y'all think we can't replicate them teams now that they done moved on? So I think they got a good argument. Maybe eight slots if it go to 14, and then if it go to 16, maybe say 9, and just say, all right, y'all get 4 apiece, and then whichever team is the next highest, y'all can take that spot between the Big Ten and the SEC. I think that makes more sense to me, just because I still want to see parity in the sport. I don't want to see the same teams year in and year out. I want to see a Mountain West champion, and in the same year, I want to see the ACC got SMU this year and Clemson. I still want to see 2 of them in the same year. I get a Mountain West champ, and you know what I mean. I just still want to see parity, bro. I don't want to keep on seeing the same games year in and year out. It's gonna be the same teams.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little bit of pushback because I mean, you look at this year; they had 12 teams, and 7 of them are from them 2 conferences, and one team, being Alabama, was like pissed off that they didn't get in, so that would have been 8. So they probably thinking, man, listen, that's 4 and 4, and we got 12 teams. What if we go to 14 teams, man? We got to get 10 slots automatic, bitch. You know, I don't know, man. We'll have to see. But
Yeah,
let's check
but
our polls question real quick and see what no, go ahead. Go say what you gonna say.
yeah, I get the pushback that you got, but me, I'm under the impression that they be cheating for the SEC, because ain't no way Alabama should have been the first team out, in my opinion. It should have been South Carolina. So, like, when I look at it, it's like they need to get the rules set too. Like, what y'all gonna go off of? Y'all going off a record, or y'all gonna go off a strength of schedule and resume? Because right now it's like they don't have no actual guidelines to what they judging off of. They just freelancing it, and you could sit there and say it's the eye test, but the eye test told me that South Carolina was a better team than Alabama by the end of the year. Yeah, I know they lost head to head, but it ain't no guidelines or regulations to it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just think those presidents are gonna go in there and try to get as much as they can for their conference. But I totally get
Got
what you're
to.
saying, man. I totally get what you're saying. Let's look at Poe's question. He said, "What role is the small schools going to play when it
Um,
comes to this?"
they ain't gonna play no role. They just gonna start collecting them bags, them $4 million, them $2 million checks to get banged on. They ain't gonna have no. They ain't gonna have no authority when these presidents and these ads sit down. They have no weight in the room.
But really, man, now the small schools they need to start to pivot to the point where they understand. Listen, we are never going to make this. Well, I ain't gonna say never because Boise State is in there. We're not going to probably make this 12-team playoffs, but we need to become like a feeder school for somebody, or for, even if it's multiple schools, because they need to get their athletes to the point where they can go from that small school to where they can transition to a Power Four school after about 2 or 3 years. They really become the new JUCOs. That's going to probably be their role in this college football thing, and also play against. And then, like say for instance, if you North Texas should be trying to play Texas A&M, Texas, TCU, teams in their state every year, so that they got players who play really well in those games. Those teams might look to pluck them out of the portal, man. I think that's what those smaller schools should probably be looking for, because chances of them making the 12-team playoff, even if they go to 14 or 16, I don't think they're going to give them more opportunities. I think they're going to give more opportunities to the Power Four schools, namely the Big Ten and the SEC.
You know
And
what
Don,
else I think they should do?
yeah, go
I
ahead.
think the AAC, the Conference USA, the Mountain West, the Sun Belt. I think they should band together and start their own little NIT playoff like they do in basketball. You can go ahead and get the best eight from them smaller conferences, and y'all run your own. People will watch that.
Oh, for
Get
sure. And listen, they got college graduates and alumni, man, that will come to those games.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, if I went to one of them smaller schools, I would definitely want to go see them. I think that's a really good idea, man. That they should band together and say, listen, we got our own system that we can run here in college football, and people are going to come. For one, they got smaller stadiums, so they're going to fill them, and their fans and their alumni, they're going to travel. I think that's something that they should really look at and stop worrying about this 12-team playoff, which they ain't trying to get no small schools in there now. I mean,
Right.
a lot of people talk about Boise State and Arizona State being in a position where they get bye games and they're not better than probably 5 or 6 teams that don't get a bye game.
Facts.
You know. So with profit sharing coming soon, possibly even next season, will this help slow down the transfer portal?
No, because at the end of the day, you can still go to a Texas and Ohio State and the Georgias of the world, and you can still get these endorsements that you doing these commercials or and you sign it because these are the main teams being seen. You know what I'm saying? So these commercials that we see in Columbus um, with the players at Riker Cars, Auto, or whatever. You know what I mean? You're still going them endorsements are still going to be there. So that's that's the difference maker. Uh, if everybody getting the same profit sharing, the difference maker is all right. What endorsements can I get if I come here?
Yeah. What about those players who jump into the portal simply because they want more money? Do you think that might slow down on that end because now you're getting profit sharing, so now you're getting money from the university and you're getting NIL? Will that keep players from jumping in the portal for the money?
Well, cheating is always going to be a thing. So probably not because I would say like how y'all was saying uh, back in the day, Ohio State would put somebody on the payroll for the recreation. That stuff is always going to be around. You know what I mean? It's just about the bigger schools is always going to have more resources. So I don't think that's going to stop nothing with the portal. The only thing that's going to slow down the portal if you literally tell people they can only transfer this time or like once every 2 years. You got to put restrictions like to where you tell them they can't hop in the portal. As long as you can hop in the portal though, whenever you please, there's nothing that's going to change about the portal. It ain't got nothing. It got a lot to do with the money, but some dudes just don't want to sit on the bench either. So I mean, the dudes that be sitting on the bench is always gonna hop in the portal, regardless.
Yeah, and I think to our last comment, Don B said, "Big bank take little bank," and we've been saying that all season long, man. When teams got that money, they always gonna be significant, man. When you look at the Ohio States, the Texas, the Oregons, and Oregon, not that it's a bad place to go, because I mean they got nice facilities and they got nice uniforms and all that. Would you want to go on the West Coast if you were a guy from the South or whatnot? If you weren't getting that bread, would you want to go there? Over Ohio State or Texas or Alabama or Georgia. They're getting guys that they probably normally would not get. Like Evan Stewart would not have went to Oregon had they not broke open the bank for him. You
Right.
know, so it makes you wonder, man. Are these other teams going to be able to get their bank up? Because there's a lot of other rich universities out there. I don't understand Alabama. Why don't they have more money, man? Why does Oklahoma have more money? It ain't like they haven't graduated some entrepreneurs that got businesses. Why do they not have more money? Is it because of where they're located?
Man, they probably ain't got the right person making them phone calls.
I just wonder about that, man.
Man, all I know, listen, these programs got money. You hear the dude, the number one basketball player, he just went to BYU. He signed his NIL deal for $7 million. The money is around, dog.
Yeah.
So it's about where you want to allocate it. I feel like.
Well, listen, we know for sure them Mormons got some money, bro. Them Mormons got some money. I mean, they own the whole. They run a whole state. They got some money, bro. They got some money. Now, and listen, I'm not saying nothing negative about no Mormons, man. But listen, they got some bread. They got some bread for sure. So today, do you think this Heisman Trophy is going to be a landslide?
I mean, I just feel like it should be, but you just don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what did I see? Travis won the Walter Camp Award, and I think he received 26 votes, first place votes out of I think the 45 that was possible. So the next guy ended up getting like 16. So that's not a landslide though. Why is it that close? You know what I mean? I didn't feel like it should have been that close. So I don't know, man. I just want to see what's gonna happen. And if they don't give Travis that award, I mean, something need to happen with the Heisman House. We need to cause some ruckus.
My man RJ Young said, listen, if Travis Hunter didn't get every voter's first place vote, they should not have a vote anymore. He should get every single voter's first vote, man. First place vote.
Facts.
And it should be unanimous, man. It shouldn't even be close. Shouldn't even be close. And then I think Dylan Gabriel and Genty will probably juggle all the rest of those second place votes. I really can't see anybody else even putting up a run against Travis outside of those two. You know, people were having issues about Shador not being there. But I mean, if he's not close, why invite him? Why invite him, just to be there? He wasn't even close. What are you most looking forward to next season outside of, your Buckeyes possibly beating Michigan?
Oh no, it ain't that. It's that very first game. I'm looking forward to that Ohio State Texas game. That's like leading like, when we hit the off season, the countdown starts for that game. And I'm gonna try to grab some tickets, man. Listen, I'm trying to go to that game.
What do you think the ticket price for that game is going to be?
Just how it is. What man, I looked up the playoff ticket. As soon as they dropped it, it was $500. The cheapest ticket was a nosebleed seat. It was 500.
What?
It was $500, bro, and it was almost sold out already too. So I'm talking about an hour after we got off a stream that night. Yeah, it was already at $500, and that was the nosebleeds. But just to be in the building, you sometimes you just got to be in the building. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I Years ago I wasn't one of those people who wanted to be in the building. I liked watching it on TV until I actually went to a live game, and live was better. And in 2005, man, my man Mark Howell calls me like, listen, I got 2 tickets, man. You want to go to the game? I know you're the only Texas fan I know. Do you want to go to the game? I said no.
Oh my God.
That is probably my biggest regret ever, man, about not going to a college football game. Because that
uh,
thing was dynamic, man. And he was like, for real, you don't want to go. I was like, nah, man, I don't want to be down there and all that mess. I
man,
regret that to this day, man, not going to that game, man. I regret that big time. I thought about trying to get tickets to go to this game, but I figured it wasn't going to happen. So I haven't really even pressed the issue about it because I don't want to be in the nosebleeds.
man, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I was far all the way in the nosebleeds a few years back when I went to the Wisconsin game. It was a night game. Tickets. I had bought the tickets like leading into the season as soon as they went on sale. So what it was gonna be a noon game, but it landed on a night game, and that thing was rocking. And I ain't
Yeah,
regret it at all. I ain't regret it at all either. And it was just about being in the building, and we smashed them. But the atmosphere, though, it's about the atmosphere for real.
yeah. I think that's what done it for me too, especially when I went to the Texas and Kentucky game this year. That atmosphere was unbelievable. Now I went to go see him play Maryland when Maryland was playing in the old Washington Redskins stadium. It wasn't even half full. It wasn't even probably wasn't even a quarter of the stadium was full, and it wasn't the same kind of vibe. But when I went to Ohio State game when they played, oh man, who was they playing? They wasn't playing nobody good, but it was a game that it was the alumni game where they gave tickets and cheap tickets to their alumni, and we went to that game. And there's really not a bad seat in there. You can see good just about everywhere in that stadium. But just to see the atmosphere, how the fans are, man, you can't beat it. It's better than watching it on TV, but you don't want to go to too many games because your pocket's gonna be broke. Unless you got
Facts.
that bread.
Unless you got that long money.
Unless you got that bread, man. What else are you might looking for outside of that Texas game? And those of you that's
Uh,
in the chat, tell us what y'all looking forward to outside of your team's favorite games or most prominent games. What are you most looking forward to next year's season?
I want to see how they gonna reconstruct this playoff. Or I mean, I don't know. Was we doing a 2-year contract with this
It's
current
2 years
style?
with the 12, yeah. It's two
Okay,
years with the
so
12.
even if it's 2 years right now with how it's set up, we'll get some details probably. So I want to see compare and contrast to that and see what that's gonna look like compared to how it's already set up. But and then like just for the Big Ten, Washington, UCLA, these teams we added, Oregon, like Washington and UCLA, they're not as bad as they portrayed they are this year as programs. I want to see if they can turn their programs around. I want to see like which middle of the pack team in the Big Ten that's unanimously a middle of the pack. Minnesota, Indiana, Rutgers, Wisconsin, Nebraska. Can one of these teams make a leap that Indiana made? Because it ain't gonna do nothing but make the conference stronger. We need one of them teams to make a jump too. I'm hoping it's going to be Nebraska, but they talking about Rayola might hop in the portal too. So I don't know if he leave, it might be over for them. I want them. That's the team I want to make the jump. So and then I don't know who coming back, who all coming back, but every year you want to know like who gonna be the top quarterbacks out there. That's another thing I'm looking forward to. Like, who gonna be the top quarterbacks? Um, they said LSU's quarterback is coming back, so we probably gonna go into the year next year with him probably being that number one guy that everybody looking at. So, um, but like I be looking forward to who gonna be the top quarterbacks going into that NFL draft and do they live up to what they supposed to live up to because we seen Carson Beck just completely fold and they still thinking about drafting him high though. I don't get that, but That quarterback room is always real interesting around the country.
Yeah, before we get to Donnell's statement, let me did you hear that Oregon possibly offered Quinn Ewers $4 million to jump in the portal and come there? Since he's not going to be able to play for Texas next year, that's for sure. There's no way that they're going to allow him to stay there for one more year at Texas when they need Arch Manning for the next two. So what's your thoughts on, or do you even believe that happened? That Oregon offered him $4 million to come there next year,
I didn't hear about that, but if I was him, I would take that offer.
as opposed to going to the NFL?
Yeah, because I don't think he's quite ready to go to the NFL. So why not just come back and play for Dan Lanning, and we see what that offense can do for a quarterback that likes to get the ball out of his hands quick and dink and dunk. We've seen what that offense can do for a guy like him. So if I was him, yeah, I would really consider that offer for real, bro. Like it ain't like I don't think it like if he go to the draft now, he probably QB4. You know what I mean? That's still first round, maybe second round if people think it's a little reach. But nah, he could probably solidify himself to be the number one guy if he go there and come out next year.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting. Um, I think he should go to the NFL because he got a. I think he has a really good chance of landing at a team where he can get developed. He won't have to start right away. Um, because from what I've seen from Quinn Ewers in the 3 years he's been at Texas, he needs to sit behind the guy for a little while. I don't think you throw that guy right into the fire because he's, like you said, he's not ready yet. But I think if he goes to a team where he can sit behind them, he'll be good. But hey, $4 million in your face, it's hard to turn down, bro. Hard to turn down.
He gonna get a contract regardless, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do a late first round pick make in the NFL?
I mean, they still make some good money, but it ain't gonna be $4 million a year.
See what I'm saying? So it ain't the money, you know. The money
Yeah.
ain't what's enticing him. And if you feel like you already gonna sit behind somebody, I mean, you can develop reps is what develops, you know, reps.
Yeah.
He need to get in that weight room though, man. That's why he get hurt so much. He need to put a little weight on him.
Oh, I'm just looking at the TV. I didn't know Jackson State and South Carolina State play today. Now listen. Jackson State. That means that Prime left that university in really good shape, man. If they're 2 years removed from him, they playing in that game again that they played in the 2 years he was there. That means he left that place in really good shape. He didn't leave the cupboard bare, man. That's a
That's
good sign of a good human being, really.
facts. You know, I was just watching some bro, Prime leave an effect on anybody he come across, bro. Like he had the little young reporter um in the press conference, and he was like, "Man, how old is you?" He was like 19. He turned around to his people. He was like, "Hey, whenever he want a one on one, give it to him." He's like, "I'm proud of you, bro." Like you know what I mean? Like that's just Prime, dog. But Prime did the same thing Harbaugh did. When once he succeeded to Colorado, he told them he was like one of the guys that was on his staff. He was like, "This is the next head coach," and they hired him as the head coach. So he knew whose hands to lead the program in, and I just trust dude with that type of stuff, with them type of decisions.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a story, man. Because I loved Prime when he was at college, when he was in the NFL. I loved Prime, gave him a lot of love and respect. And then he came to Columbus, Ohio, because he used to come to the CCC's church. And CCC's church had a basketball team that played in the adult league, and we played over there at Carl, the breakfast center over there at Carl Road, Woodward Park.
Yeah.
So we playing in these games, and this guy comes to the game, bro. But he tells the people at CCC to tell everybody else not to bother him. I was pissed, bro, because I'm like, dude, we love Prime, bro. We can't come and say what's up. You, he didn't want us to say nothing to him. I was pissed off about that. Not that I would have. I've never been that kind of person that if I see you, man, I see you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to have no conversation with you. I've never been that kind of a person. But I was pissed off that he didn't allow other people, their families there watching games to come
Yeah.
in and say what's up to him. You know, he sat there on the bottom row and almost like he had bodyguards around him, man. I was kind of pissed off about that. But that's neither here nor there, man. That was just my personal opinion. I thought he should at least been able to say what's up, you know. So
Yeah. Facts.
yeah. So Donnell mentioned that they need to be able to challenge referee calls, man. Now I don't know how many flags they should get per quarter, per half, per game, but I agree with him. Some of these calls, man, need to be able to be challenged, man. And we talked about that several videos ago about this refereeing. They have to give these coaches an opportunity to get these things, man, fixed because some of these games, this refereeing, man, is really, really bad, man. I mean, really bad. What's your thoughts on that, man? Should challenges be made with somebody against some of these referees' calls?
I like that idea, man, but I mean that ain't gonna stop them from making bad calls. The only thing that's gonna stop them from making bad calls is if you start taking some of their money. I'm telling you, don't nobody want to lose 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50. Nah, they don't want to lose that money, bro. You gotta start finding them, man. You have to, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should get some challenge flags, and I think they should get fined too. I mean,
Facts.
just think about it. Where can you go and work and not be penalized for not being productive? I mean,
That's
they might not take no pay away from us, but eventually they will fire your ass.
oh no, they will, man. Listen, in my department, we can be suspended days in the street without pay. That's taking
Whoa.
pay. Yes, that is taking pay away from us. You could
Yeah,
be
we can too.
suspended.
We can too. Wow.
Yeah, so that's the same thing. It's just we don't work in a field where we making hundreds of thousands of dollars on the regular, where they could just be like, "Oh, that's a 20,000 hit right there." But that's the same thing for us. 2 days worth of pay in the streets. That's gonna hit pockets. You know what I mean? So they got to start finding these dudes, man.
Let me ask y'all this, man. I'm asking you and I'm asking the people in the chat. So the people in the chat, just drop a yes or no. Do you think that there are bookies out there that be on these refs like, listen, I need this to happen in this game in order for me to be able to keep this money or whatnot? Do you think that kind of stuff happens?
Absolutely. That's always it's always been happening. The NBA ref, he got a documentary out. I'm watching eventually. He got a documentary out talking about when he used to do the stuff. What's his name? Donahue, I think is his name or something.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
that as listen, Ohio State has a player right now being investigated for throwing games. We know this. We know it happens.
Oh, you mean basketball?
Yes, in
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
basketball.
yeah.
We know it. We know it happens through sports. Period. Like this is what happens when money and gambling is legal. Now it's legal too, so it's making it even worse probably. But you don't even catch these. They don't even catch these things until 10 years down the line. That's the problem.
He said Bradshaw. Are you
Yeah,
familiar with that?
yeah.
That's the
Aaron
guy's name for
Bradshaw. That's the Ohio State player.
that's the Ohio State player? Okay.
Yeah, that's being investigated right now. He's been away from the team for about 2-3 weeks now.
Wow, that is nuts. That is nuts. And I mean, I'm quite sure they probably put a bounty on their head too. Like, listen, if you say anything, we
Oh
taking you out.
yeah. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
We know where your kids go to school, all that. They probably threatening them all types of stuff. And it sounds crazy too, but nah, you gotta believe that people really they'll do some of the worst things about money, bro.
Oh man, sure. We already know that. We from the streets, bro. We already know,
Facts.
we already know that shit. We already know that. Hey, we already know that.
We know where your
Man.
kids at, your address is public records. You know what I mean? Like it's all crazy.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Man, we really need to start talking about some basketball, man, because this football season is coming to a close. So we need to start figuring out how we gonna incorporate basketball into our live streams. What's some of your suggestions on adding basketball? How can we do that?
Well, I know NBA is always Friday night. Um, the college schedule is a little more um, coasterish. Like it just you gotta just check and see when the games is for real. You just gotta be up on the schedule. Uh, my Lakers played Minnesota last night. We lost too. But Friday night for NBA is a big day, and Sundays is big days for NBA too. They always got big time games on Sunday. I don't really know. I had to think about it, bro. I had to brainstorm it for real. Uh, Cause as far as like nationally, like televised games, the games that they be like, oh, this the game to watch. It's definitely Friday night. So them is probably the games we would want to incorporate. The games that come on ABC and the Gold States and the Lakers and stuff like that. So we had to just get with the national televised schedule of what it's looking like. It's College Super Tuesday. Uh, yeah, we just have to write down and figure out what days is the prominent days for like the live televised games that is the ones that they're advertising because people want to hear about that for real. And then any games surrounding it, we'll be able to throw them in and speak on them if it was games the day before, if we do games that next day, or we do a stream that next day based off of that Tuesday. So we do a Wednesday and we base it off that Tuesday. We can talk about Monday and Tuesday, I guess. But we just got to get right with the schedule for real. Honestly, we so stuck into football season that I'm not even in the loop with. Like I just got the notification that come to my phone about when my Lakers come on, so that's how I keep up with it.
Yeah, because I haven't watched. I ain't gonna say I haven't watched any basketball, but I haven't watched very much basketball at all, NBA or college. So I'm gonna lean on y'all for that, man, because I don't watch. I know Parlay Poe watch hella basketball.
Yeah,
I mean, I know he watch hella basketball. I don't. So I'm gonna lead. I'm gonna follow y'all's lead on that, man, because I'm not right there. Oh, he said TNT too. So
big
y'all let me know what the
TNT.
schedule gonna be, man, and then I'll be there to help in any way I can, man, because I don't know that much about the basketball thing, but I do know about Super Tuesday though. Back in the days, we used to watch UNLV. They used to come on at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I think TNT is Thursdays, ain't it? I think that's Thursdays when they show
Yeah,
them double headers on TNT, and them are always bangers too.
yeah. Okay, cool.
And of course, college basketball is just like college football. It's always going to be games on Saturdays because a lot of people want to schedule games on Saturdays because they don't got class. It's
Yeah,
easier. The logistics is easier. So this Saturday, no, I think it's what's today? What's today? The
14.
14th. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
14.
Saturday. It's a lot of games on this Saturday for
Yeah,
sure in
yeah,
college basketball. I'm talking about top 25 teams, all that. Ohio State, I think, play today. If I ain't mistaken.
yeah. I'm thinking about going to catch a high school game today, man, and live stream from there. I haven't decided which game I'm gonna go to, if I'm gonna even go. He
Yeah.
said Don B said March Madness predicts. like y'all did with. Oh yeah. March Madness prediction, just like we did with college football. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. When we get to that time, we definitely gonna do that. That's for sure. Now it's gonna be a little bit harder because now you're talking what 68 teams as opposed to 12.
That's why throughout the year you got to try to tap in with almost every different game that you can, just so
Yeah,
by the time March Madness get there, you be like, oh, okay, I seen these guys at least once. What did I see? But it's so unpredictable in basketball. The best team rarely wins, for real, in my opinion. So we'll see.
yeah. All right, bro. Well, I appreciate you joining the stream this morning, man, and we'll probably be on again tomorrow at 9 a.m. to talk a little bit of NFL and a little bit of college football, and just go from there and try to figure out how we're gonna plug in this basketball. But like I said, I'm gonna follow y'all's lead on that because y'all know more about that basketball thing than I do.
Yeah. Do you what game you was talking about going to tonight?
Well, I heard Linden plays Dayton Dunbar today, and I think there's some games at South today. I think it's a Columbus Dayton thing going on today. So I think
Oh,
South
okay.
plays somebody from Dayton, Linden plays somebody from Dayton, and I believe Mifflin plays somebody from Dayton.
Yeah, I went to
So
that. I went to that last year. I checked that out last year. It was definitely some good work.
yeah, I, I want to go watch Linden, but they need a big bad man. They need a big bad,
Man,
and they
that's
don't have no
always
big.
that's
Yeah, they don't
always,
have no
you
big.
know. So they'll figure it out. They might have to start pressing. When you small, you gotta create turnovers.
Yeah, yeah. All right, bro. Well, I appreciate you joining the show. Everybody out there, please continue to subscribe, like the video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That's how we know how many people actually have viewed our videos. So please hit that thumbs up button. That's the like button. And
Yeah.
also share our videos with all of your friends and family members and ask them to subscribe because we're trying to get to 500 subscribers so we can start getting monetized for our videos. We got to meet two criteria. We got to have so many watch hours. So if you're watching, please watch it as often as you can. Any of the videos that we post, even after we go live. And then we got to get up to 500 subscribers so that we can start getting monetized so we can start splitting this money up. We're spending a lot of time doing these videos. It's time for us to start making some of that YouTube money. So please share our videos with your friends and family members and ask them to subscribe. It's absolutely free. All right, bro.
Facts.
So I'll catch you later on today or tomorrow if we do another live stream.
All
But have a
right.
good day, bro.
Let me know, man. You too.
All right, I'll let you know. All right. Peace.
Peace.